I had always trusted my wife, Laura. We had been married for over a decade, shared a home, and raised 2 kids. From the outside, everything seemed perfect, but subtle signs had begun to nag at me. Late nights, secretive messages, evasive explanations about her whereabouts. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, but a quiet, gnawing suspicion refused to leave me. One evening, I came home earlier than usual. I had a hunch and wanted to see for myself. My instincts were correct. Laura was in our bedroom with another man, her affair partner. The sight hit me like a shockwave. Rage, disbelief, and betrayal surged through me, but I didn't act impulsively. I needed to plan. This wasn't just about my anger. It was about accountability, and I wanted to make sure the consequences were unforgettable. I didn't confront Laura immediately. Instead, I focused on her affair partner. I calmly took my phone and began recording the scene, capturing every detail. The man was startled, panicking as the reality of being caught red-handed sank in. I made it clear, calmly but firmly, that his involvement had consequences. Then I contacted his family, sharing the evidence and ensuring that they understood the gravity of his actions. His panic was immediate and intense. He hadn't anticipated facing accountability so swiftly. Meanwhile, Laura tried to explain, to plead, to justify herself, but the evidence spoke louder than any words. I had collected screenshots, messages, and photos that left no room for denial. The affair partner's family arrived shortly afterward, furious and demanding explanations. The humiliation and fear were instantaneous. The man had gambled with trust and integrity, and he was now forced to confront the fallout of his actions publicly. After dealing with the affair partner, I turned my attention back to Laura. I calmly gathered all evidence of her ongoing deception and carefully documented everything. I wanted to ensure that the legal and social consequences of her betrayal would be as thorough and irreversible as possible. Custody arrangements for our children, financial settlements, and legal protections were all prepared meticulously. I then filed for divorce. The proceedings were straightforward, backed by the overwhelming evidence I had collected. Every attempt by Laura to manipulate, explain, or plead her way out failed. Her betrayal had cost her our marriage, her credibility, and her control over our shared life. I ensured that the arrangements reflected the severity of her actions, prioritizing the well-being of our children and my own security. Finally, I executed the ultimate step of my revenge. I ghosted her completely. I stopped responding to messages and calls, moved out, and removed her influence entirely from my life. Laura had no chance to manipulate, negotiate, or plead. Her deception had cost her everything, and I reclaimed control of my life. In the weeks that followed, I focused on rebuilding stability and normalcy for our children and myself. Routines, emotional support, and careful attention to their well-being became my priorities. Friends and family who knew the truth supported me, reinforcing the idea that strategic, calculated action often delivers far greater results than impulsive anger. Looking back, I realized that true revenge isn't about drama or shouting, it's about precision, timing, and control. By catching her affair partner, documenting the betrayal, exposing him to his family, filing for divorce, and cutting Laura out completely, I delivered consequences that were swift, undeniable, and permanent. Laura underestimated me, assuming she could continue her affair without repercussions. She was wrong. Her choices destroyed trust, credibility, and her place in my life, while I reclaimed my dignity, control, and the ability to rebuild a future free from deception. In the end, my revenge was epic not because it was loud, but because it was complete. I didn't just survive betrayal, I turned it into a decisive, irreversible action that reshaped the consequences entirely in my favor.